broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
All right, you guys, welcome to week 7 of Dancing with the Stars here on AfterBuzz TV. The stories that have already been told off the air. I'm so excited for this week and so excited for our guest. I'm Kristyn Burtt. Let me just quickly introduce my co-host, Suri Serano.
Awesome to be here, and you're going to be very happy you tuning in for this one.
Yes, and across the table, not only do we have Shirley Ballas returning, we have Corky Ballas as well. Hi, guys.
Hi there. How you guys doing?
You guys are on fire already.
We are.
It's smoking hot in the studio.
It's amazing. We are so thrilled that you were able to come in. I know that this was a very eventful week. I think for all of us, we were shocked. We're kind of hurt. Well, didn't you like cry? I mean, I was sobbing for Willow. So, you know,
I think when she took the that gracious exit from the stage and sobbed in Mark's arms, I think she even caught Mark off guard. So it was a pretty emotional moment.
Wah, wah, wah. It was awful. In fact, she said to me, we were teaching in the studio, and she said, "I just read there's going to be a shocking elimination today." Immediately, I said to her,
Mark
"That's
and
us."
Yeah.
I just had this feeling, because who else would be shocking at this point?
Only you guys and Nastia and Derek, really.
Well, Nastia's
rumor.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, but I think that they're kind of front runners, so I don't...
Yeah, you do feel like it's been set up since the beginning, Nastia and Rumor against each other.
That's how I feel
Well,
about
Dancing
that.
with the Stars can edit anything in those packages. So they can get you to cry for people. They can make... I mean, I know for a fact that Max... It's actually a good guy, but they could do those packages to make him look like he was a real. But
Well, it could be sometimes.
Sometimes, but not all the time. The guy is actually a good guy with good work ethic, and they could produce it however they want to produce it.
And that's what they show. Yeah.
They produce it the way they want it produced
Because it's drama and
they're only interested in drama. Dancing with the Stars, they don't really care about anything but the drama.
Well, and I think for me too, people are saying, you know, I know, but this is also a 14-year-old girl, and that I still think about that. Like, I forget that she was 14 on the dance floor, but then if they are, you know, sort of messing with things, she's a 14-year-old girl, guys.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
and also a 14-year-old. It was improving. It wasn't like we had lead in our legs. I mean,
She was stunning.
We were doing great every week, and it was going uphill. It wasn't going downhill. It wasn't trading sideways. This thing was peaking, and then it was see ya.
Well, and I think too, it was not only her dancing was improving every week, but I think Mark's creativity this season has been out of this world.
It has.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard more than one Emmy nomination drop on Twitter and from the fans, and we've talked about it.
Definitely.
Well, when he first got the 14-year-old at the beginning of the season, I think he was, to be honest, a little bit taken back. Because then he's trying to imagine they're going to give me rumba, they're going to give me this, how do you have chemistry? And after we had a little chat, he said, I know exactly what I'll do. I'll do character weeks. So every week I'll come in with a different theme that is suitable for a 14-year-old.
And
He did request not to get rumba, you know, so he didn't have to do that dance. And that's what he tried to bring every week, a fun, characteristic dance that could show off a 14-year-old who started week 1. When we saw the cha-cha week 1, we thought, maybe she'll go off week 2 or 3, but then week 2 came, she improved, week 3, then she got into the role models, she got into the character, he produced some of the best work up to date, I felt, and for whatever length of time it was, 7 weeks, I felt that they definitely entertained America, and according to Dancing with the Stars, America didn't vote, so I don't know whether people didn't vote or whether it was they needed the shock elimination to get people to tune into Dancing with the Stars.
The history of the show, the young ones don't ever really. When have we ever had a young one win ever? It's not. I don't know. Is the demographic that? I don't
Shawn
think it
Johnson would be
18.
Yeah, that was about the youngest one, right?
18. I just, she was improving so much week to week. This week's dance, so when I first heard they were eliminated, it was on Dancing with the Stars All Access, so I hadn't seen the routine. Then when I watched the routine prime time. I was beyond devastated.
But you understand
it
it's
was
from the
so
week before,
amazing.
not
Yes,
from-
I do. But there was still like
Still, we
she
had
was
high weeks from the week before.
top 4, top 3 for me. I think for most people out there, and the work that Mark, I told him this, that he was putting out there was firing on all cylinders. Was phenomenal, Emmy worthy. These are the routines that will stand the test of time, or his routines. And for me, it's devastating that it's not on the show until the end, because that's what I tune in for.
That's
Well,
very
it's
good
exactly
point.
what Dancing with the Stars wanted. You're all talking about it. Everyone was on their Twitter. Everybody was on their Facebook. It was all going and chatting.
I mean, it trended on Twitter
It
for a
trended
couple
on
of hours
Twitter
after the
for
show.
a couple of hours.
It hasn't
so
trended in a while.
It had the effect that Dancing with the Stars wanted, and that was to get the gossip and the scoop and people chatting. And no, she shouldn't. But I'm going to say again to everybody out there, if you want somebody to stay on, please
You have to vote.
vote.
You do
I mean,
have
it's
to vote.
down to the
You
votes.
have to vote.
And I will say that even though everyone was chatting about it and discussing it, it's water cooler talk, there's a lot of fans, long-term fans, that are very frustrated with the voting and the judging and the system and the fact that how did Willow go? Yes, we can say we can vote all the time, but we still never know what goes on behind the scenes.
We do not.
Exactly.
You see?
No, we can
I'm
speculate, but
starting
we don't
to
know.
wonder
We don't
a
know.
little bit, you know.
You
Starting
don't
to
know.
wonder.
I
You
think
don't
we all
know,
wonder.
You don't know, but you know, you've been in it long enough. You're not
You're
stupid.
I
bollocks.
agree.
Well, I don't know. Anyway.
Stir the pot.
Okay.
Stir the pot. One thing I do want to say, I hope both Mark and Willow walked away feeling very proud of their season, and I hope that they can look back on it, tremendously happy with the success that they've accomplished.
I think so. I think, Mark normally is quite competitive, and when he goes off, he has a little bit of an attitude with himself, but he got caught so off guard with the tears that he felt like he had to really put his spine forward, and he didn't really even have chance to realise, I think he's gone off till today.
I thought
You
it
could
was sweet.
see it when it happened. He was just there
It was like,
for her
keep your chin
the
up,
whole
girl. Come
way.
on, let's exit this. And
What I thought was fun was she was 14, and I'm going to cry rather, I don't care who's staring at me. I
until
thought that was
later on,
hilarious.
I'm going to do my father bit. Come here, give me a cuddle.
Oh, that was so sweet.
We love him. We love him. He's the best host in the biz.
Yeah, he
We
is.
say that every single week, and I think
That's
he showed his heart too, which I appreciate.
He's one of the few on Dancing with the Stars with a real heart. Who cares?
I love
he really
you, Shirley.
cares. He really cares.
You can tell.
Yeah,
You can
I'm not
tell.
so sure about the producers and everybody else, but him, he cares.
Tom is neutral.
He cares.
He cares about
Switzerland.
everyone.
He's got a
cares.
good soul, that man.
He
I agree.
does.
And Aaron.
He's a
I
good
like
New
him
Englander.
too.
He's from my neck of the woods.
He's the best.
He was my broadcaster growing up when I was younger. Isn't that funny?
We work out at the same gym, so occasionally I run into him, and he gives me advice. He's fantastic.
We all claim Tom Bergeron as our own. That's
we
it.
are. We love you, Tom.
Well, let's get into the entire episode. This was Era's week, and or as Tom called it, spray tan tour through time, which is great. Let's start with that opening number to Anything Goes. I thought that was a wonderful, classy opening for the show.
It was bright. It was colourful. I think it started off the whole evening with a good bang. Did you feel that?
Loved it. Very classy, elegant.
They didn't announce it. Was it Mandy Moore that choreographed that, or was it somebody
I
else?
think she's regularly on now,
Yeah.
Mandy Moore, to
Okay,
do the
good.
choreography. I would assume she's done it, yes.
Yeah, because I know she's doing the producing stuff with the choreography and everything too. So
beautiful.
I really loved it, and I just thought it was just kind of fun. And I've missed a lot of the opening numbers. They haven't done them every week, and
Yeah.
so when we do them, I'm like, yes, I'm all
I know.
in.
She's waiting for those every week. Give me the big
What a splashy opening! It's the
Well, since we lost
anniversary.
the Tuesday, we kind of lost that, didn't we? All the different acts that come on that I still think America loved. I mean, I don't know why the Tuesday went, but, so be it. So now it's just the dancing and nothing else goes with it normally.
Yeah, and we'll get a couple weeks of it though at the tail end here, so we'll take that. Let's kick it off with Riker and Allison. They had a 20s quick step, and Suri, I'm going to start with you. What did you think of their dance?
I loved it. I'm not gonna. We have the technicians next to me, so I'm not gonna take too long. But they look. I mean, look how gorgeous they are. They've killed it for me every single week. Fun, entertaining piece to watch. Again, they're one of my top, 4 couples. So I don't know. I can't. What do you think, Shirley?
Well, I think that this young lady struggled a little bit the last season, and I feel like this season she's really come into her own.
Yes.
She's found her pace. She has a fantastic dancer who also, by the way, I've met him, and he's a very personable person, and I think he's very, very focused on what he's doing. So I really think he's not just a top 4, I think he's a top runner. So I don't think they can have 3 women in the final. They probably want to have a male in. He's young, he's sprightly, he can shift, he can move. He does have dance experience, but so what? Lots of people have. I think her choreography, for the most part, has been outstanding, and I think he can execute anything. So I loved it.
I did too.
I think he did great.
Loved it. I thought they've been doing great all season. Allison's gotten a lot better this season than last season.
We were so happy that she was back and kind of had that opportunity
she
to
had a
really
chance
prove. Because we know that she's a great choreographer and a great dancer, but Dancing with the Stars is its own beast.
It is.
Well, it's based on ballroom and Latin, and she's a specialist more in her own field, where she is the best. I'm told by Mark and Derek that
She
she's just
is the best.
She superstar. But what I was impressed with is it looked like she'd also taken some study.
Yeah, it looks like she's
over
trying
the
to
time,
become
and she
the
came
dances.
back, and she's holding her own. So I'm really quite
And
proud
actually,
of her.
Riker kind of blends with her vibe, actually,
Yeah.
really well.
They have great chemistry.
Absolutely. Totally.
You know,
agree
one
on
thing
that.
the judges talked about was their height difference, which I've noticed a couple times.
There was no height difference
no
for me
issue?
whatsoever. That is a
No, that's a
regular,
good height there.
normal height that you would find in the ballroom and Latin field. He is not too tall, she is not too short. It's absolutely perfect. But they've got to say something, haven't they? So, I mean, when you
They're like, okay, now.
when you're chatting every single week and you write your lines out, you've got to think of something. So let's go with the height. But there was absolutely nothing wrong with his height.
Good to
Yeah,
know.
I never thought so. But what do I know about?
Yeah,
Well,
you know,
that's
when they
right.
bring it up, you kind of, because you're like, oh, I hadn't heard that before, so is that an issue? But 9, 10, 9, 9 were the scores for them, keeping them
Could have thrown him a couple of 10s, actually. I thought he was great.
very good.
I love hearing their perspective.
I know, it's so
fun.
refreshing for us, you know, just to hear what you think. We then go to Chris and Whitney doing a 40s foxtrot.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, and you know,
Shirley just took a deep breath in.
well, I'm gonna say something about Chris, and he's been probably one of the most popular bachelors that they've had in recent times. Whitney has had a tremendous breakthrough with winning last year, and some of the fans are so excited about this couple, and then others are very frustrated because they feel like he doesn't want to be there, or they don't feel like he has the technique. And when you have someone like Willow go home before him, this is what's frustrating some of the fans. So
Well, if we set Willow aside for a minute and we just focus on him and his dancing, we have a tall, good-looking man. And Whitney, I just love her. I think she's creative. I think she's stunning. I think she's just gorgeous in every shape or form. What's frustrating is when you hear the judges say, you have an amazing frame. Wow, how great your footwork is, when it's big.
BS.
Really not good. And the frame is all dropped and drooped. Now, I'm sure that you can find other good things to say about this man. He's got a beautiful smile, he's got some character about what he does, but let's call it as it is. So it seems that some of the couples get it in the neck for something, and some of the others don't. So Len 1 minute is saying, oh, I don't like all that drama in the back when you bring 7 people. Can't you just do your own number? And then the
Sounds
next
just like him.
person goes out, and I love you dearly, Derek. They go out with the next thing, and oh, it's the best thing since sliced bread. So, you know, is it one rule for one and one rule for another? So he was supposed to have had this magnificent frame, which was actually the worst frame of the evening, but poor Riker got it in the neck for being too tall and too short. So it's a little bit confusing. I think they need to get together and get their remarks straight
I
from a
agree with
dancing
that.
perspective,
Totally agree.
and keep a set of rules, because you can't give one person one rule and another person. As you can tell, I'm so sorry, I am a little frustrated. I am a little frustrated because there's no consistency about what's going on
And it's
the
confusing
show.
to the viewers.
It's confusing to also
We
the
hear it every
couple.
week.
And,
It's
you know,
confusing to the couples.
And this poor guy, definitely cannot hear music. He's totally out of time all the time. And
Yeah.
She does an amazing job. I mean,
she does her
she's
thing.
pushing him to go one way and steering him to go the other.
Good.
And
I get
making him
100%. She's right on there, but yeah, not my. And I think he got 7s and 8s.
yeah, he did
did.
8788. Excuse me, 8788.
that was a
I
little
mean,
high.
that
I
was a
thought.
little high.
Yeah. The character, I thought the concept was really cute.
Yeah.
It worked well for
Great
them.
concept.
Amazing.
Yeah, it
He's
was.
amazing. He's
And the package
gorgeous. He's
before was
stunning for all the
cute.
people out there. I mean, he is a gorgeous bachelor. Who wouldn't want to stare at him every day of the week? I mean, he's just lovely. But then, as Len would say, I have to bring it back to the dancing. Really?
Well said.
Okay.
Seriously.
Yeah, and I
I mean,
think
it's frustrating for everybody. We hear from fans every week we have the same issues as well. You say it all the time about the scoring being inconsistent, and what's one for one, and then the other is another. And
yeah, the lift police, when that gets going, that drives me bananas. Carrie Ann and Abba, I yelled at her the other week. I was like, stop, just stop, if you want to call out lifts, I'm totally fine with that, but it is for everyone. It's not just for Derek, or it's not just for Mark, or for Val, whomever it is that week that it just gets picked on. So
yeah. I agree.
Yep. It is a reality TV show, though.
It is. But, for all of us that watch week after week and season after season, we see the inconsistency.
Well, you start to see the flow and the pattern of how the show works. I mean, we can sit there literally and call the scores. We really can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think we get it wrong, do we? We actually can call the scores. Mm-hmm. Who's going to stay on, who's going to go off, blah, blah, blah. So.
Except this week.
Except this week we were off.
Although when they did say shocking elimination, I knew
you guys knew.
That's us. Anyway, next, moving right along.
Yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as we are in the studio. I love it.
Val and Rumor were next, and they had a 60s jive. And I just want to mention...
what was that score?
That score was 8999.
Now, that was underscored. For me, it was underscored. Now, you thought it was a little underwhelming.
I thought it was.
And I thought
it was 4 8s for me.
I thought, first of all, this young man is a specimen in his own right.
Yes,
He's amazing.
We saw him basically naked on Tuesday.
They're amazing.
Val is amazing.
He's been my student for a long, long time. And when he came out this season, he came out in a grey outfit at one point, and he came over and he goes, "Hey, Mom," he says, "I'm trying, I'm coming out, because you're not at Blackpool, I'm not coming out in black." And then he came out with his face painted, encouraged a little bit by Mark to get his face painted, and he goes, "Look at me, I'm even an eel." So, I have to say, I got to give him 100%. That boy,
Okay, but we're
he's
not
really
talking about
trying.
Val, are we? We're talking about Rumor.
May I finish? He never lets me finish. 22 years of marriage,
Okay, well,
I never
go
get to
on.
finish.
I love it.
So he gave this young lady the most amazing choreography. She can cope with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was easy on the eye. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't under. It wasn't over. I just found it to be a consistent performance. I loved it, and I thought he was underscored.
Now, Corky, why didn't you think it deserved the scores that it did?
I actually thought the last 2 weeks she has not been dancing as well. I thought I think she's starting to worry too much. I think she's trying to do so well, and I thought it was slow. I thought last week was slow, and I thought this week was slow. For whatever, see, what did she do? The booty.
I didn't like that number last week. I didn't like it either.
And I normally love stuff like that. It was
I'm with you,
underwhelming.
Corky. I didn't like the
Yeah, and this one
either
seemed
last
a little
week.
bit like she was. I thought she felt safe and a little worried. So
I'm with you.
There was no attack.
I liked it, but I agree with you.
It was good. I thought it was 8 worthy.
Now, I think I liked this because we saw a sweeter side to her. We've seen the strong,
That's
fierce
true.
side.
Yeah,
And I liked
very
this,
feminine, very girly.
Well, all right.
And
I can
that's
see
really
that
appealed
now.
to me.
I mean, look at that little
I agree.
face.
Look how sweet
Good
she
point,
is.
Kristyn.
I do think, and we saw this in the package a little bit, she did fly to New York. They had a busy week. They were back and forth, coast to coast. It brings on a little fatigue. It is week 7. Maybe
All right.
there's a little...
I just hope that...
saying that, if you're going to do the subdued, then you need to go subdued. So I was getting half signals of, is it under, or is it supposed to be at full throttle?
I think it's a state of mind. I mean, that flying back and forth, Derek's also had to do the same thing, and I know how exhausted he is. But again, when he comes to work, he hangs that exhaustion up at the door and he picks it up on the way out. So I'm not going to use travelling as an excuse, because a lot of them have had to do it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I just hope that Val, and I did tell him this, I hope he can keep it together. So as it gets closer up to the final, and he is in with a chance, because we don't know,
Right.
if he can keep it calm, keep it controlled, not lose it, not throw her about and get all worked and psyched, I think he's in with the shot. So
I would agree with that.
He's got a chance.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But I just love that for me, when I'm starting to see different sides of Rumor, that's when I'm like, okay, great. I'm starting to see like different layers
She's
and
likable.
levels.
too.
She's got the
She's
likable
very
factor.
likable.
She's a beautiful girl, and she's got the likable factor.
I didn't say I didn't like her. I didn't like what they did.
I didn't say you didn't say that.
I didn't say I did. I didn't. Just didn't like the number.
That was 8999, so that was a total of 38 on that one. We then move into Noah and Sharna doing the 70s jazz.
Oh, God.
Come on.
Fantastic. Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to
Like
ask
American Hustle, like.
very American Hustle.
Yes.
And I want to ask this because a lot of fans this year are like, I just want simple stripped down dances. We're using the troupe for everything. Now, I kind of like the big production numbers.
Me too.
I do, too.
I do. I mean, if you saw 6 cha-chas week after week after week, it becomes boring.
If you go back to season 1, that's what season 1 was.
So these are produced numbers. But I want to ask, how does a man with one leg and one arm manage to stay so beautifully balanced? Because as a dancer, we use like a 2-way stretch for everything going right. We have something going left, something going up, something pulling down. This man has got the most magnificent balance. He's found his core. I mean, to be able to lift her the other week with one arm up to there, I just...
They didn't
skill
move.
factor.
He was solid, too.
I mean, what he does with half the limbs, people with all their limbs
with
can't
all
do
their
this.
limbs. So we're both in this. His personality was great this week.
His personality was amazing.
And even this line here, she choreographed this to go sort of over, and she used his leg.
Charlotte did amazing on this.
She used his leg to kind of shuffle, and she kept her straight, and it was brilliant. She's been brilliant this season, and he's also amazing.
And to know that he doesn't have all his limbs, there are some awkward moments. We all see them, but she's so clever at the way that what transitions out of that you forgive that. I think this guy's going to make the final. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he's going to make the final.
This from top to bottom was amazing. For me, it was their best number they've done.
And he did the theater on top of it. He did his little acting. He did a great job. I was pretty blown away at that, actually.
How ridiculous does Sharna look, too, by the way?
She's amazing. Always.
She's done a great job.
I'm a fan of her.
Charlotte's a tough cookie, as we saw last week.
Yes.
She is a tough cookie, but she's got such a heart to her, too. Like, you just, take off the tough exterior, and she's just, so sweet inside. And I love the connection she forms with her partners. Even when you're you had someone like Andy Dick, you were like, that was a wild card that season, and she still managed to pull the best out of him, and I thought that was great. So when you have someone like Noah who has a body awareness and has that strength, she's going to run with it.
Excellent point, though, Shirley. I didn't even think about that, about the core and having to have balance.
He can't pull anything on this side of his body, the whole left side. Yeah. So therefore he's got to be using some sort of balance through his central core line. So that as a dance person, when you look at that, it's impressive before he kicks off. Yeah. And how he maneuvers around, he can swing that leg. She used a lot of telespins where they spin in.
She has to counterbalance that on top of that.
She has to counterbalance that. So from an artistic point of view, we're quite mesmerized and amazed at what this man can do.
I do like it too when the limbs are covered. I must say, I do like it when he's in clothes and I'm not seeing it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm less aware of it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I think I had interviewed him early in the season. He said because he was so big into fitness, when he finally got back into fitness, he had to figure out ways to strengthen his body on the left side and with different straps and weights and things like that. So he's come up with a whole system of balance. So I'm sure that having that awareness and understanding of what his body's capable of probably helps with this.
I think Amy helped him. Amy Purdy helped him out. I think he's been talking to her, and I think she's helped him
mentally.
Mentally, yeah.
I love that. I love both of them. So 10, 8, 9, 9.
Yeah, I could go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the 8 from? Len?
That was from Len. You know,
right.
Len goes off sometimes, just over there doing his thing. Let's go to the cutie patootie couple, Robert and Kim, and they had an '80s Argentine tango.
I was a little scared at one time. I thought he was going to drop poor Kim. I was like, oh my
I think
gosh.
though it wasn't. I think he saved it and she slipped.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't think it was him off balance. I think she fell out
enough to catch her.
and he was alert enough to catch her. So this has got to be the chemistry couple of the season.
This is hilarious.
And of course, if she wins, she's getting a Ferrari, probably a wedding ring and a nice white dress.
Now she thinks
He's taking her on vacation. He's taking her on vacation after this, he said.
this one thinks she's getting a wedding ring.
Oh, I think a wedding ring
I hope
happened.
so.
Oh, I think so.
So
I love them.
think she's done a good job. I love the chemistry and everything about them. I'm not so sure he's one of the best dancers. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off next week. But
he struggles.
He struggles a little bit, but he's definitely got a chemistry.
He's better with the slower dances than the quicker ones. I think he struggles a little bit with the timing. You're right. The hands are a little bit tense. But he's got a great little face, though. I tell you, the face, so his smiles get him a long way.
Yeah,
they do. And you know what I appreciate about him is that he looks like he's the luckiest man in the world to be out on that dance floor with Kim, this gorgeous woman. But you see it. I feel it. I feel like he just loves her. He loves the show. He loves being here. He's having the time of his life. And I'm like, you can't beat that. You can't manufacture it.
What Carrie Ann said to him, she goes, I think Kim's too much woman for you.
And he's like, she's a woman.
That was pretty good, actually. I that. I actually did feel that.
You did.
She's a gorgeous woman.
Yeah, she is.
And so sweet. I just love them as a couple together. Their scores were 7, 8, 8, 8. What do we think on scoring?
A little flattering, I would say. Probably sevens for him. Yeah.
I thought he got good scores. It was better than last week.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, him and Chris are the ones to go next.
And it is supposed to be a double elimination next week on the 5th. So,
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless they change that again on us, because they keep changing it.
As they do, because they're Dancing with the Stars and a reality show.
Now, do you guys know, and I ask this because if you do the math on with a double elimination...
I'm going to just hit a button, you can say that.
It's Dancing with the Stars, isn't it? Just kidding.
Okay, sorry.
But if we do the math on double elimination next week, it would look like then the finale would be only with 3 people remaining. Is it? Do we know if it's a top 4 finale or top 3
I did
finale?
hear it was going to be 3 only this time in the final.
That's the way they're setting it up if it goes according to what you're saying.
The only thing I was thinking was that they'd surprise us and do a non-elimination week and throw something else out there, but the way the math is going, it's top 3.
You never know.
We don't know.
Because it's...
Dancing with the Stars, and it's a reality show.
Yes.
And they need ratings and gossip and scoop and hospital runs.
Your son's watching this and he's cringing.
And
I'm
that's
just
exactly
kidding.
why we're sitting here now. Because it's Dancing with the Stars, and it's a reality show.
Are y'all following this? Oh my gosh.
Okay, next, sorry.
This is awesome. Oh God, I hope Mark's laughing while he watches this.
We always have to be on our best behaviour when we come. Mark and Derek are always like, but we try to say how we feel, so it's good.
We appreciate it, yes.
Okay.
Sixth couple of the night was Nastya, and I'm calling them Dasha. So
You're calling-
Sasha and Derek.
Oh, Dasha.
Dasha.
Oh, that's cute.
This is one of my favorite photos.
Okay, so this was a modern Charleston. And was it a Charleston? I heard a few people out there on Twitter felt like it was a Lindy Hop.
Yeah. At first, when they came on, I was not quite sure because I
What
remember.
was it?
It was modern Charleston.
Wait a minute. Why did I hear it was a jazz Charleston?
Oh, maybe.
Modern Charleston is what we were told at home on the audience.
All right. So it's supposed to be
Derek
what?
and-
Whatever it was. Let me just say whatever it was.
It was a
Whatever
hybrid.
it was.
I love
it was
this.
a hybrid, yes.
This child, I thought, he tried to be a part of it. I know people are criticising him, why does he have to sort of get in the act? I think he didn't want to let her down. He picked a great person with this young man, Sasha, and he's been amazing because sometimes he clips the music a bit. And I heard in rehearsal he took direction very, very well from Derek because Derek's very much about the music. And I thought the whole concept was brilliant. And I thought he joined in a little bit. I thought it was a highly entertaining piece. But again, it was a lot of troupe and it was a lot of members but got not criticised for it. But yet somebody else comes out with a big backing group and they get criticised. So I was a little bit confused on that. But overall, as a whole, she's got to be a front runner, I think, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so many things that she can do. And this week I thought she brought a bit of warmth. I don't know how they managed to do. Maybe because Derek's able to watch it while she's dancing with somebody else and he's not actually dancing with her. He was able to direct and she became more warm. So I thought the number was great. I enjoyed the number. I thought it was a highly entertaining number. Yeah, Charleston, jazz, whatever it was just great dancing for me. So.
I'm watching Corky's face.
All right, Corky, go for it.
I thought this number was a little indulgent. I think this needs to be more about Nastya, and I thought it was about Derek because he was injured. So that's how I took it.
Oh.
So I didn't get the singing thing at the end. I didn't get why the other guy was singing. What are we doing? Are we dancing on a chair? Are we singing in the air? Is she dancing? I didn't know what was going on. So to me, I thought it was okay. I thought it was good, but I wouldn't say I was crazy about it.
I would say, for me, as a whole, I really like the number as a whole. I love that Nastya brought warmth, which is, for me, I've been saying
and
it every week.
It was also a creative
it was creative.
number.
I felt like I was watching an off-Broadway or a Broadway production.
It was a
which
production.
I loved about that. I like the big numbers. I like having the troupe. I like all of that. I didn't really find it about Derek as much as you did, Corky, but I like that he was incorporated into
I think what
the
Corky
number.
means, though, what Corky means is that, because we chatted, was that Derek started off and then Sasha went and then Derek stood up and Derek became singing. So Derek
So
was
it's
singing. At the back, he's actually singing with this man.
Right.
So we've got now the new person, we've got the routine, we've got Derek at the beginning, now we've got the singing going on in the back when it's really about this girl. I
Right.
think
That in the front.
So that's
what
I'm
he's
saying. I
trying to
thought it
say.
Took away the focus.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's about our celebrities.
It's pretty hard not to focus on Derek, even if
He's a handsome guy.
This is true.
well, even if she's doing whatever she's doing, he's singing in the back or whatever. It's zoom
That's
in
what I'm
a little
saying.
bit on him.
It's-
So.
I thought it's about the celebrity. So that's
I
what
loved
I'm
it.
saying. Well, that's our
Yeah, it makes sense.
responsibility.
And I like her with Sasha. I know Henry didn't want to be anybody's second dog's body or whatever his excuse was for not wanting to dance.
Is that what happened?
Well, yeah, I think it was a little bit that he felt a little bit like, I'm a little bit better than that. I don't want to be a troupe member who's just thrown in to rehearse with somebody else. So, and I had a chat with him, and then of course he switched, and then of course my boy got injured, and then Sasha stepped in.
Right.
And you see how things, playing cards can fall.
You know,
so
Sasha did actually.
he did an amazing
Sasha stepped in
job.
Amazing.
Before,
and you know, on the
though.
10th
About the
anniversary, he
show.
had to do that number.
Yeah.
And learned all the
last
choreography
second
last
with
minute.
the four ladies. I mean, that was he did amazing. He's really quick.
So he's going to get an opportunity now to be, while ever Derek feels like he can't perform, Sasha's going to be now front runner in that whole group, and we're going to get to see Sasha in a different light.
Yeah, we haven't seen him since
Fortunate,
Pro.
unfortunate. I'm sorry that Derek's not well, and he's healing fast though. He's actually healing fast, the doctor said. But now this boy gets this opportunity, you see. So yeah, I just loved the whole production. Didn't bother me what he was doing in the back. I loved it.
I think.
Okay.
Sorry. No, sorry.
A couple things I just wanted to say. First of all, with the Sasha timing thing, he actually stepped in before Derek got injured in rehearsals. So the timing of like one stepping back, one stepping in, and then someone gets injured.
That's true. Yes.
It's one of those things you think of like I could have, I should have, did I?
Did I
all of
make
that.
the right decision?
Did I make
Yeah.
the right decision?
Yeah.
And then the other thing I want to say about Nastya is I think this week is the first time I felt like she danced with so much freedom.
Yeah.
Like there was
Yes.
not a care in the world, and we haven't seen that from her. And I was like, oh, she's
Yes.
just loving every minute of being out there.
She needed this.
Yeah.
Like, we needed that from her.
Maybe Derek getting injured got her think, man, I have to step
Well,
it up.
well,
here."
like I say, he's able to teach them.
Yeah,
So
they-
they have a teacher. So
Right.
it's easier to see from the outside. No, there isn't any
That's
warmth
true,
there.
Shirley. Very good
Nope, you're
point.
not rotating and
So he's
sensing
probably,
a being.
yeah, he's
And what-
probably
So it's
drilling her
actually
on
a
that.
good combination.
Didn't they have all week together then for the first time in the whole
Yes,
season,
they
pretty
did, 'cause
much?
he couldn't go anywhere, right?
Right. Mhm.
And you know, Derek is a taskmaster, so yeah, that's probably exactly why we're seeing her
And she
emote more.
stayed this week as well.
Yes,
So I
she
think we're going to be in for a good week next
and that
week.
we go about that work ethic and with that travelling. Like I said, he hangs his tiredness up at the door, and when he comes in, even on the 10th anniversary, Corky told him on the last pass, why
Oh my
don't you
gosh.
cool it? No, Corky said he'd been up since 5.
I'm
It was
telling you,
100%.
when he hurt his foot, you would have thought that there was 13 cameras in there. How hard that kid was dancing at 10 o'clock at night. Wow.
It's 100% all the time. He's
Yeah.
driven, he's focused. So I get
love
a
that.
compliment on that. Yeah. Wow. Very good.
I love that about Derek.
Their scores were 10, 9, 9, 10. Total of 38.
Good score.
Yeah.
Good scores.
Fantastic. And this is where the night got a little weird because somehow Aaron said that they had immunity before Willow and Mark danced. Did anyone hear that?
I did hear
that
that.
too.
I wondered
Was that a slip of the tongue? Was it just...
Ooh, that was a slip of the tongue.
I didn't
think.
pick that
I
up.
think I agree with you.
What happened
Corky.
here?
She claimed that, okay, they're immune, and Mark and Willow hadn't danced yet.
Dance
Yeah.
yet. There was still one more couple to
She
dance.
says on
Did
the
you not
mic.
know that?
Oh.
Yeah.
But it's what?
Dancing with the Stars, and it's a reality show, and they can call their own shots at any time, morning, noon, and night, Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays.
Okay, sorry, I had to push the button.
We
Sorry.
need to I need to record that so we can play it when you're not in studio with us.
We do.
Just kidding. That
seriously, we need that.
I'm just dying.
amazing. We have
Yes,
to. Can we do that?
I was blown away about that too.
I didn't
I
pick it
was.
up, so I would have to
and
go
when
back.
you're in studio, a lot of times you can't hear what they're saying. At home, we heard it, of course. So, and it was pointed out to me. You have a lot of people tweeting, and people were sending me like, "Did you hear that? What is
then
it?"
You're right, and I knew that Mark and Willow were going to get a 37, which was 1 point
Yep,
under
had to
that.
be a point
I
under.
knew
Because
that.
that number could have gotten a higher score, and same
Exactly.
with Willow and Mark. They could have easily had a couple of points higher. They got three
Or
nines
easily
in the 10.
tied.
Come
3 nines
on,
in 10, yeah.
exactly.
So yes,
Exactly.
That's when I knew. I mean, that's when I thought. I guess
the little Willow. The little Willow.
dancing
They
ninjas.
just look amazing.
14 years old, started that show, no dance experience, full of the joys of spring. I
Amazing
could just say a
focus.
few things that Mark said. She came into rehearsal and she does not have a cell phone. So her family don't allow a cell phone. So there was
No
no
cell
distractions. There was no iPads, pods, nothing. She's there. She was 100%. She worked like a 26-year-old. She was driven. I got to give the girl 100%. That girl put Mark said, her heart and soul. So although he had an amazing season with Sadie last season, she also had great work ethic. He said this girl was like a beast.
She's like a laser.
She was a beast. She came into practice. Yes, Mark. No, Mark. I think I want to be a rabbit this week. Okay, Mark, you be a rabbit. I think I'm going to be a dancing ninja. Be a dancing ninja. There was no stress. No, I don't want to try. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. She just followed direction, and that made for a great combination. So she allowed him to be the director, and he allowed her artistic flair of a 14-year-old.
But obviously not that great because they're gone.
Because Dancing with the Stars didn't vote, and it's a reality show.
She is a beast, and I got to sit with Mark and then also meet with both of them on a separate occasion, and I said, I mean, she's so strong, and Mark was like, she is as tough as Allie and Sean,
Yes.
An Olympic athlete. Like, that is her mentality.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And which is incredible.
We're going to see
And
great things
surprising
in her
for
life,
14,
I think.
Look at that.
Look at that.
We're going to see
She's
great
a great
things
little
in her
actress.
life.
Let's talk about that.
Great theater on top of the dance. Isn't that amazing? I agree
Very
with you.
mature, good family. Like, you can just see like all the structures right there. And
Loved her dad. Her dad sat there every day, all
Snack
day. And
time.
we'd go in and we'd meet him. He was just such beautiful people at the end when she went off. No drama. Dad was crying. Mum was crying. Sister was crying. We were all crying. But,
I was crying.
She's just the most beautifully raised child, exactly like Sadie. They're just ladies.
I love that.
Sean Johnson, her, Ali Reisman, all those girls, young girls he's had, just ladies raised well by good families. Very proud.
Yeah,
of
Mark's
them.
done very well with younger contestants.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Yeah, I think they might want him to dance with somebody that's 18 months old next time. Because if get it walking up on just
Take the
kidding.
baby for a drag. Yeah.
I know. I feel like but I actually loved him with Candace Cameron Bure. I thought
she
they
was
were
lovely, yeah.
wonderful together, and she was someone that you could see sometimes she was very in her head and psychological, and then he would just be like, "Get it, do it," and she would go out there, and she was like the sexiest little thing.
I think he just has the ability, why they give him such young people, he has the ability to stay calm. And he's fun. He's
And
also
encouraging,
and great work ethic. So
But can we just hats
intense.
off to the creative
The set was
mind
amazing.
and everything that goes
I don't know how he
into
thought
his
of everything
numbers.
this season. He was on
awesome.
top form. I hope he gets.
I like what
some
Bruno said. He
award.
said, "What did he say? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon." When they were doing that was kind of it did remind
And
me of that.
synchronized,
So
all a
cool.
little and in and out. That was a lot of
That
work.
took a lot of work. Yeah,
was a lot of
That
work.
a good number.
Dancing was fantastic this number.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You
Center
can
and
see her
core.
get stronger every
Yes.
week too. Yeah.
Some of those movements she did, like it was a back hop with the double stag.
Yeah, I mean,
like
it was
I don't know
hard
what it was
stuff.
But I
called,
did
it
say
was,
to Corky at the beginning of the season, I know that she's on that top movie, and I thought for a 14-year-old, just how big of a fan base could she have? So I was a little bit sceptical about the fan base because Middle America, the bulk of Dancing with the Stars is coming from Middle America, and they like those hot, chunky men and the Christians, and those people tend to vote, and they're in it, and I just think she was just a bit
Or maybe
unfortunate,
maybe
really.
her fans were asleep. Maybe they're all in bed by the
the other
time that
thing
she
is,
danced. I mean,
Dancing with the Stars oftentimes is very Facebook driven. That age group is not on Facebook. My niece is almost
true. They're
16.
not on the-
She doesn't want Facebook.
What
Her
does she
mom's
do?
on it.
your niece is on Twitter, or
She's on Instagram.
Instagram.
They
Oh.
want, so if they
Snapchat
had,
and-
if they had Snapchat and
okay.
Instagram voting, they'd be out in droves. So I do think that there's a generational
That's
thing also
very
going on.
interesting.
It's okay. I think you'll remember them and remember those numbers in years
And,
to
it's
come.
funny
Yes.
when you say the Facebook. Sometimes they don't put all of the celebrities' numbers on the Facebook, so I don't get how that works
Really?
either. Yeah, not everybody's
not
dancing on
everybody.
there. It's whoever they want to put on there. So I thought that
I'm not surprised.
kind of weird. I was about to push the button, but then I thought, no, I don't. Do
We
it
got
again.
it. We got it. 99910 for their futuristic jazz.
Could have had some more tens.
That should have had more tens.
Yeah.
It just should
I
have.
would have said that 2 10s maybe. Anyways,
I thought Julianne gave constructive criticisms this season for everybody. I think that she tries to see it from a real dancer's point of view. I mean, whether she steered into one direction, I find her more sincere than
it
some of the
makes
other
more
comments.
sense, yeah, I think some of her remarks are actually at least consistent.
Yeah, consistent for all the
Sometimes
couples,
she
I
messes
think.
up a couple of times, but who doesn't?
Yeah.
Right.
But consistent
Live.
for all the couples. She seems to have
Yeah,
the same
seems to be-
format. She has
yeah.
a format.
That's good though. It's
like that.
why I like So You Think You Can Dance. Like they give the dancers like next week work on this, and that's what I think the celebrities even need. Like we need to see you work on your arms or your frame or your feet, whatever that is. It gives them something to go back to the rehearsal studio and focus in on. There was an immunity challenge as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah, even though immunity was claimed before the last person danced. I don't know. I just don't know.
Oh, crickets in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, do we even want to talk about it, or do we want to get into the anniversary special? It's up to you.
About the immunities?
Well, I like the immunity challenge.
You did
If we
like
just say
immunity.
that, I kind of like it. They pick and then they do their thing.
It was really kind of nebulous because they'd already said
Yeah.
before. So, yeah.
That's true.
And I mentioned, Tom said before, I don't remember which couple it was, the one that had the tiebreaker. Before, he didn't say it on any of the other couples that there was going to,
Oh, that's so
that
true,
Len was the
yeah.
tiebreaker. He said it right before the judges spoke, after this couple danced. In case of a tiebreaker,
Was that on the
Len's the
right
tiebreaker.
Ellis?
So I should have said it at the beginning.
yeah.
They actually said it when there was a tie.
So you see, they slip up to the production people on Dancing with the Stars. They have little slips here and there, and you pick them up. The thing is, I didn't pick up a couple of those things.
No, you were too busy yelling at the top
We
of your
watched
lungs.
this. We've been
Deafening
watching
my
for a
ear.
long time. We kind of know a little bit of how to,
And if
just
we
see
miss
things.
it, some of the other fans
They see it.
don't. They see
Fans
it.
are
And
amazing.
you're right.
I
He should
love
have
it.
said at the beginning
Yeah,
that whoever
Right?
Lynn, if it's in the event of a tie,
Yeah.
whoever Lynn picks, that's the winner.
exactly.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah. I do want to give a little bit of time to the anniversary special that we did see last night, and
Okay.
you danced on with
A little bit.
I know.
Doble, they're still looking good. Still looking good on one knee.
Come on.
Sweet.
It was fun. It was fun. It was sweet. Dancing with my kid. That was awesome.
I mean,
Very.
what was the whole night like? Because it was kind of fun just to sit and watch it on TV and just see the whole audience. You're like, oh, look, there's like Florence Henderson, and over here is.
Well, you know what? In saying that, what other show in the world does this? I mean,
Yeah.
and all these people came on to watch this show that have been a lot of past contestants. I mean,
Right.
they came back wanting to be there. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how long did they rehearse, organize all of this? I mean,
It was a long day.
Well, that was a long day, but I think what you're saying is you were in there the full week before,
did you have
right?
a full week of rehearsal
Yeah, how long-
beforehand?
Everybody was practicing with their own partners. I know Mark was with his ladies, so Catherine
Yeah,
Jenkins came in.
It was a week.
It was about a week.
But I mean, the actual day was like 6 hours in there. It was a long time.
Right.
So it was
we
a
were-
long shooting day.
She's asking because we were discussing how long they rehearsed those numbers specifically, like in terms of choreo, right? 'Cause
Well, like you said, like she said, a lot of them were working all week for those. So because I mean that show was. They had some hot routines. I mean, Val's number was amazing.
Yeah.
Although we
was-
heard some parents. Some parents were a little bit like turn the remote because they were.
He was in
Did they have
look,
to
it's
take
a Speedo. Come on,
It's
it's,
a
a bathing
swimsuit.
suit. It was
Yeah.
Hilary Balls.
But National
balls.
We almost saw them.
Hashtag Larry balls. That's amazing.
I'm pretty sure I saw them.
You know, didn't you think it was funny when you were standing behind Tom going, can you
I
kind
know.
of hurry us
That
up?"
was
They both
funny.
covered up. They were like,
How about her body? Her body's amazing.
That is
Fantastic.
always been amazing.
Just stunning. But
Ridiculous.
did you notice how the camera would go to the audience and people were like,
Cameron, Candace Cameron Bure, what her Bure. My face was kind of like her face though,
Yes.
because I was not expecting them to strip. I just didn't expect it. I didn't know. I was totally taken aback.
all of us were. 'Cause they didn't do it at rehersal.
Oh, they didn't?
No, we were just like, what?
Okay.
Now, we've seen that number before when they were in season 15, but they had a few more clothes on.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
was really stripped down.
That was wild.
I mean, they were a very hot couple. They were one of my favorites in season
Yeah.
15. So,
Yeah.
And I think for me, just in going back and remembering when we talked about it in season 15, I loved seeing Kelly's progress from season 1 when she won, which was kind of surprising if you go back and look, and seeing how good a dancer Val really made her in season
Yeah.
15.
Yes. So true. Yeah.
Can we talk about how amazing Meryl is?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, she looked like a pro, didn't she? She looked amazing.
And it was good to see Max back on there.
Yeah, that was a
was,
great number.
yeah.
It was good, and that comment that where Len said, "I'm 70." What was it? The comment when he,
Oh, he says, I've been in this business 50 years. And then Max goes, well, maybe it's time you get out.
I forgot about
And he was like, that's the first time I've seen Len speechless, actually.
so there was a couple of interesting clips there
That was
from
funny.
Max.
Because you know Max can't help himself.
I
He
know.
just-
Wait, how about his audition interview?
Oh, yeah, we made fun of him on that.
Oh, I know.
It was
That
great.
was so cute.
That turn, that little spin
The
he
little
would do,
spin.
and his hair was like all messy.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I think like what you really see when Max comes on the stage, he has a charisma that nobody else has. He's got that
absolutely.
aura, and you're like, oh, we do miss that on the dance floor. We miss that, and I felt like this was the best I'd seen Max and Meryl dance. Like I just felt like they had just like nailed it. They were in the zone.
But they've been doing their own show, Sway.
Yeah.
They have that lovely show everyone wants to see.
Her dancing has improved, Meryl. That's
It
not that.
has.
I mean, she looked like one of
Toes
the
were
pros. I mean, we're
pointed
not messing
and-
around here.
No.
It was awesome.
And what she's always had that a gymnast has to work on, which she knows how to emote, and she could do that in ice dancing, which is where the
Yes.
gymnasts need to work on.
Yeah, that was a great number.
That was
probably my favorite
stunning.
number of the night.
Oh, I think so
actually.
too. They came out, they like bam, they hit the dance floor, and it was over, and you're like, that was great.
It was gorgeous.
That was really
highlight. The footballers were fun too.
Yeah, they were fun. It was nice to see
Bless
Karina
their
again.
hearts, they practiced so hard for that. They really did.
Olé.
With their middle arms.
I know they're all, and you could see their little like hands and like, oh gosh, it was adorable.
They were dedicated to that.
There were a couple little scary lifts in there that I saw, and I was like, whoa.
The ones on Karina.
Yes.
Karina's crazy. She puts herself in there, doesn't she? Like,
She's always been like that. They can't give the girls a go. You know, she's just a goer.
I mean, do or die with that one.
It really, some of them I was like, woo!
That one she did with Michael Irvine was pretty scary. When he flipped her down.
Yes.
They
Unbelievable.
used to say when she was the top competitor in our industry, Karina Smirnoff takes no prisoners. 100% from Karina Smirnoff every time. Yeah, great to see her.
And we also it was Derek's dance, but Sasha stepped in. But it was nice to see Maria and Christy Yamaguchi.
That was awesome. That was nice seeing all the ladies. They call them the divas.
And I love that little red
The
outfit
dancing
and
divas.
they all wore. Fabulous.
And we just should say, Anna, we miss her, but she was on, and it was so nice to see her out on the dance floor.
Yes,
and Chelsea
it was.
Hightower, and we would say Ashley Costa.
Ashley looked so beautiful.
Yep, it was so great
Lily
to see.
was back. That was awesome.
No, we just miss like all of them. So, and it's one of those. You're like, oh yeah, we still love to see our fiery redhead like out in the front and center. And there she was this week. So that was fantastic. We only have a few minutes left, but for you guys, was there a favorite season, a favorite moment, a favorite dance over the last 10 years for you?
I have a favorite one I can think of.
I love them all. I loved all the seasons, but I think my favourite was Nicole Scherzinger with Derek. That was a season that I won't forget. That woman, there wasn't anything that she couldn't do. And then I thought that Sadie and her little... What was that little man with the little red hat?
Mario number?
Mario number. That freestyle was iconic in my mind. So there's certain numbers that Tony Devillani, when he won with his...
with Melissa.
With Melissa, when he won the All-Star season, that was a memory because I'm really fond of Tony. There's been lots of memories. So many of them. There's not... Because all those boys and girls are
stands out
trained.
in your heads? For me, it was a trio with Derek, Mark, and Sean. To me, that one was one. To me, that was one of the best numbers. I mean, that number was hot.
Yeah, it was.
That's fantastic.
Sean was amazing.
Do you have a favorite number or favorite season?
I don't know if I have a favorite season. I know that some of Mark's numbers this season will forever stay with me, and then of course some of Sean's numbers. The rabbit. I mean, the rabbit is amazing.
He called me. I said, "Well, what are you doing this week, Mark?" He goes, "I'm going to be a bunny rabbit." I said, "No,
Contact lens hanging out.
But some people thought it was cool, and some people thought the rabbit was creepy. So isn't that funny how you can? It's just funny how people
interpret things.
Yeah, it's so wild.
He just likes to dress up. So he's one of the only few on Dancing with the Stars, just so you know. He's game for anything. He is anything for a costume.
He needs to be left crab.
Numbers you will left crab, but those numbers you remember forever. Some of Derek's numbers and some of Mark's numbers are the ones that really will always stand out for me.
I think that number that Val did this season, Poor Unfortunate Souls, I think that's going to be a number that you will remember.
That week was a great week.
See, now that was a good week
He's getting
for
his
her.
creativity right in there now, so that's impressive.
I still love the Beauty and the Beast quick step that he did with Danica.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Because you had like Artem and you had the plates of the girls, Jenna and Lindsay.
That was beautiful.
It was fantastic. So, well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. This was such
Thanks
a
for
treat,
having
and I
us.
know it was a hot week, and there was a lot to talk about. So
Can I just do one little plug before I go?
Please do.
Yes, please
Just one
do.
little plug. Just for anybody out there who doesn't realise that we do have a 4-part series on HGTV with Mark and Derek. Mark and Derek's Excellent Flip.
That was hilarious.
So we
actually.
watched the first 2 episodes yesterday, Corky and I. We have never laughed till we peed our
funny.
pants yesterday at those two.
They're like an odd couple.
Where can we
Odd
find it?
Couple.
Because I want to
It's on
see it.
HGTV, and the second two-part
It's
series
called
is
Mark
next
and
week.
Derek's Excellent Flip. If
Yeah.
you look on
If you can't
HGTV.
get enough of Dancing with the Stars and you want to see two boys being Bob the Builder and being out there, and just how Mark's extremely budget oriented and Derek spends it like it's going out of fashion, and you see the way those two boys it's worth
funny.
it's
Oh
good
my
TV.
gosh.
That is good.
I gotta
TV.
tune
Tune
into
into
that.
HGTV. Mark and Derek's Excellent Flip.
Excellent. Corky, tell everyone where they can find you online.
Oh, you can find me online at corky.com, corky.com. Corky Ballas is Twitter, Corky Ballas Facebook, and Corky Ballas Instagram.
Shirley, your turn.
I never know this, but Shirley Ballas Facebook, and it's a picture of me and the two boys. And I guess it's Shirley and Ballas on Instagram. I need to learn that.
And Twitter. You're on
And
Twitter.
Twitter as
I'm
well.
on Twitter too.
Yep.
I'm on Twitter.
Find her on
I'm
Twitter.
Suri.
At Suri Serano on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope.
All right, and Jake, of course, could not be here. He had an audition at the last minute. Anna was working this week, but hopefully they will both be back next week. That is Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time, all the way through the end of the season. I'm Kristyn Burtt. You can find me at Kristyn Burtt on Twitter and the Kristyn Burtt on Instagram. See you next week.
Please
Bye,
vote.
guys.
Vote.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
See you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.